I haven't spoken to this customer in probably 3, 4, or 5 months. We've been done with this project for 6 or 7. And when I called him up, he didn't have my number saved, but he remembered who I was when I answered the phone. I asked him if I could film on his property. He's not here. He said, make yourself at home. That's the difference we make. We're not contractors. We're not roofers. When we work with you, you become friends and family. We're getting ready to go over to a homeowner's house. I asked a lot of questions and everything like that, but we can't just go over there if we're not prepared for it. Like any salesperson, any business owner, it's not a shameless plug to First Form. It's a freaking great energy drink, but you got to have the energy to do this stuff. If you're not getting through your day, you're not feeding yourself well, you're not getting the energy behind it, man, I don't know how you're going to keep going throughout the day. This is a lot of work. All right, y'all, come with me. We're going to go to a homeowner's house we blessed and talk about one of the most important questions homeowners have when dealing with their insurance company.
And they did a repair. The repair does not match, but beyond that, the roof is very deteriorated.
But that was over a year ago?
That was a year and a half ago.
So if that was a year and a half ago, man, when people file claims, they have like 1 year exactly after the settlement's made to perform all the repairs and open any additional supplemental claims. So there's no going back to the old one. If there's enough damage to go back on a new one, you can't go back on the old claim, and you're not going to be able to go back for like the matching, as far as like the matching laws in Tennessee and like the required reasonable uniform appearance. But with it being a 20-year-old roof, I think it's easy to assume, based on the deterioration of like what happens here in Tennessee, that being 20 years old, it's going to be brittle. It's already pretty much fallen apart. It's probably pretty degranulated at this point, and it's going to be extremely susceptible to damage when doing a repair. There we go, brother. Yep. We'll get after it. Close it down.
All right. Sounds good, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. We'll see you later, bud.
All right. See you.
Man, I'm always here. Like, I answer calls from 5 o'clock in the morning till freaking 10 o'clock at night if these guys call me. If they have questions, I have answers. I've been through this, man. That you can't put a price on education and experience. And those are two things that I have. And so when he calls me, he's asking for the playbook. I'm going to give him the playbook every single time from start to finish, no matter what carrier, no matter what insurance company it is. There's a playbook to every single claim that we take on, and there's a way to win every single one. Take our time, right? Just another call in the midst of trying to get somewhere. But man, this is important. These are important conversations. This homeowner here, big, beautiful house, gorgeous property, intricate roofing system. I would venture to say, in my experience, incredible insurance company to deal with. And I'll just go ahead and mention them, man. It's Erie Insurance. They're incredible to work with. They're actually, if this tells you anything, owner of a roofing company that does about 90% insurance restoration work. That's my insurance company for my homeowners, for my auto insurance, commercial and residential. I picked them because they always take care of my customers, and I know they're going to take care of me. So this homeowner had a big question when it came to his property. Obviously, he lives in a probably $2.1 to $4 million house out here in the middle of the Nashville. I believe it's Forest Hills, right on the edge of Belmead. Incredible place, incredible guy. But his fear was just like any other homeowner's fear, that if he filed a claim, there was a possibility of him getting dropped or him getting hit with policy premium increases or so on and so forth. And so what we did with this homeowner, because we educate ourselves on all the laws to make sure that we can give the homeowners as much information as possible and protect them as much as possible. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't protect you if it comes to a court situation or somebody doing something illegal, but I can give you the information that you can use to protect yourself if that situation occurs, because people always do things that they're not supposed to do, especially insurance companies. It's like big pharma, okay? And that might get this thing canceled or blacklisted on the internet for talking about that, but we'll just keep on moving on. Man, the biggest thing is the Tennessee Policyholder Bill of Rights. It's something that every homeowner should know about. It's something that every homeowner should read, because it's a policyholder bill of rights based on every policy that you can have: life insurance, health insurance, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and educate yourself on the rights that you have as a homeowner against these insurance companies that are making billions of dollars a year and don't take care of you 90% of the time when you need them most. And the biggest thing for this homeowner, like I said, was not dealing with policy premium increases, not getting canceled, and so many other things that were involved in most homeowner scarcity of utilizing their insurance coverage when they need it most. Is the Tennessee Policyholder Bill of Rights actually states in there that the insurance companies cannot raise your rates, they cannot non-renew you, cancel, well, they can non-renew you. That's not a detriment though. They can't cancel your policy. They can't raise your premiums. Anything like that, from interest in a claim, filing a claims investigation, anything like that, the only way they can do it is if fraud is involved, or let's see, if a false claim was filed and you basically wasted their adjuster's time that's going to come out and perform the evaluation. But they can't, if it's a righteous claim, you have the documentation. Big thing with roofers, guys, big thing with roofers, make sure they take a lot of photos. I tell all of my sales guys, if you have less than 50 photos on your file when you're performing an inspection for storm damage restoration, you don't have enough damn photos. So if a roofer comes to your house, he inspects your roof, and he doesn't have 50 or more photos, and I don't care the size of your house, if it's 1,200 square foot, he should still have 50 photos if you have damage. There's less than 50 photos in that file, there's not enough damage. You shouldn't be moving forward unless it is so evident that he really just didn't have to take that many photos. All right. So that's the big thing. Make sure they have photos. If you make sure they have photos and they review them with you and they'll show them to you and they'll explain them to you and show you why the damage is what the damage is, and you see that they have the evidence to support the claims that they're making, that you should move forward in the process of possibly involving your insurance company, then you know you're working with somebody that's worth their weight and is leading you down a right path. I just really want to help the homeowners and sales reps, and that's the thing. That's what makes me so passionate about this industry, man, is like, for the homeowners, for the sales reps, for everybody, there's a benefit to them all. For the homeowners individually, like, for example, this homeowner, this was a $50,000 roof. He had a couple leaks going on in his house. If we didn't get involved, he would have been paying 100% of that 50 grand. But there'd been a recent storm. It was 1.5 inch hail, I want to say. I think that's an average, is 1.25 to 1.75 on the storm that happened that affected his home. But 1.25, based on an engineering study that was done in 1980s by Higg Engineering, causes fractured matting and functional damage to the asphalt product. Now, there's a newer study from 2018 that says functional damage can occur from granulation loss from hail impact based on a reduction of the ASTM specification and fire classification code of the product. So that's still functional damage, and that can occur down to a 0.71 or 18 millimeter hailstone. So 0.71 inches is the least amount that it needs to actually functionally damage an asphalt roof shingle. But outside of that, kind of circling back around, the benefit to this homeowner, because we got involved, he had a $5,000 deductible, $51,000 roof. His investment for a $50,000 roof was $5 grand. We saved him 90% of what he would have spent, right? So this whole industry, if you get with the right contractor, because I'm not saying there's not bad contractors out there, there's plenty of them. There's plenty of them that just don't have integrity, that don't do the right things. But you get with the right company, get with a company like mine, get with the guys like mine. I lead these guys from the front. I'm out here in the field today. But get with the right company, get with somebody who's going to support you, get somebody who cares about you and your bottom line and wants to save you money, and we both benefit. You save 60, 70, 80, 90% on something you may not have known you qualified for, on one of the most expensive things that you can possibly take on as a homeowner in any residential property, and that's your roof. outside of like an HVAC system or something like that, this is one of your most expensive investments on your most valuable asset, right? Or most people's most valuable asset if they don't own businesses or anything like that, or 40 rental properties. Because I've met those people, right? But the big point of this is there's a cost savings aspect. And guys, even for real estate agents, we work with real estate agents and we perform inspections prior to the listing of the home. The reason we do that is protecting the real estate agent and protecting the homeowner to protect their clients, right? We can perform a full report, full evaluation, full documented, everything built out for you. And what that does is one of the number one things here in Tennessee that happens is when a home inspection occurs on a home sale, there's always something that comes off about a roof for a home inspector. It always comes back on the home inspection report. And on that home inspection report, when it mentions something about a roof, it says contact a qualified professional to see what you can do to fix this, blah, 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 and get an estimate, right? Before you even list the property, as long as there's no damaging storms that occur between then and closing, you already have a document in your hand from a licensed professional, licensed general contractor, and professional roofing expert on your roof that is going to tell you, hey, there was a couple things wrong, but we already gave them the quote. You have the paid for invoice, and you have the full report from before and after that says we signed off on this thing. We performed any maintenance that it needed at the time. And boom, you're good to go. Now there's nothing holding back from closing, which benefits the real estate agent. And then if you actually have storm damage that you find out that you list before the property and we can get a claim approved on it before you sell the home and re-roof your house, or maybe if you can wait 30 to 60 days before you list your house and kind of push it off for a moment, there's 100% return on investment. Now, these are numbers from the National Association of Realtors on a roof replacement when you sell your home. Now, think about that, 100% return of investment on a roof replacement when you sell your home. From a National Association of Realtors, not me. Now, if you're saving 90%, what does that mean for you? It means you got 190% return on your investment. Because if you have a $50,000 roof and you're going to get a $50,000 return on your investment and only spend $5,000, then you're getting a $45,000 return on investment, and that's 190% back to you. So, benefit in the sale, more money on your house, benefit to the real estate agent, closes faster, and hey, you know what? It helps out their commission a little bit, but because it helps out their commission, it also helps out you because you make more money on your home sale. Dude, I just wanted to ask permission before we walked in front of it, man. I just, I love your property. You have a beautiful property, beautiful backdrop, and I think it speaks a lot to the quality of work that, we get behind when we do projects with people. So I was just hoping you'd allow it. Yeah?
I won't be home, but I don't need to be there. But
No.
I'll be home probably in about 90 minutes, 2 hours. But make yourself at home. Nobody's there. Do whatever you need to do whenever you need to do it.
All right, dude. I appreciate it, David. Thanks, brother.
All right. Talk to you soon. Happy
Yes,
New
sir.
Year.
Happy New Year. You see that, man? Hadn't been to this house in a while, and all he said, oh, for marketing? Hell yeah, rock and roll. This kind of relationships, man. When you save people tons of money, when you benefit them in ways they didn't know they could be benefited in, and when you provide unparalleled customer service and quality of work, people don't care what you do. He said he's not even home. He's not going to be home for an hour and a half. He just make yourself at home, walk yourself around the property, just go show them what you do. So that's what we're here to do. So this is the guy who's concerned about his premiums going up. He's concerned about getting dropped and stuff like that. Well, guess what? He didn't get dropped. His premiums didn't go up. And actually, he got an 18% reduction on his policy premiums after we put a new roof on his house. So we saved him money, and then therefore saved him even more money. And look at this place. This gorgeous, multiple $1 million property in the middle of Nashville in a very prominent area. This is the quality of work we do. So one thing that sets us apart from every other contractor is we do not stop fighting. A lot of insurance companies, we have this thing, We call it roof assemblies. The contract or insurance companies just call them roofs. But if you look around this property, everything has brand new, bright, shiny, flat, black flashings. Every contractor doesn't do new flashings on a house because they don't know how to deal with the insurance company. They don't know that when you look at a roof, it's not just a roof, it's an assembly. It's put together like a puzzle piece. And if you don't have a puzzle piece that fits in that area and you don't have all the puzzle pieces to put it back together, then you don't have a puzzle, you don't have a final picture. And the final picture is what is the most important thing. It actually spells it out in the codes. So like I said earlier, if you know your codes and you know how things are put together, you can always explain why they're required. And that's what's shown here. All flashings, new step, new counter. When it comes to the code requirement, we got drip edge up here. We got gutter apron above the gutters. Got ice and water barrier on all the valleys. We have ice and water barrier behind all the flashings. Man, a lot of people forget too when they're doing these houses that are fancy like this. You got these cornice returns. Every single cornice return's been fully replaced. Got the drip edge flashing on there or gutter apron in these areas. Got the new flashing on the counter flashing that's wriggleted into the brick. Guys, if you have flashing, a lot of new contractors, when they're building houses, they don't riglet the flashing into the brick. And a riglet is kind of like a small bend that forms into a brick. You pop a nail in there, put sealant over the top, and that little riglet, that little V like this where they pop the nail in between, that's what holds it and secures it in the brick. A lot of these new construction contractors just cut out a piece of metal, like this metal up here that you see along the brick. They just cut out a piece of metal and they just put sealant around it. And that's supposedly supposed to protect you from water. I don't know how, because if you ever put silicone on anything, well, silicone fails, especially when it's in like direct sunlight, UV rays. It degrades, it cracks, it falls apart, it peels off. And then as soon as it does that, if you're not maintaining your property, if you're not staying on top of that, or if you're not knowledgeable of it, you're going to leak right down that wall. It's something you might not see on the inside, especially if it goes directly to a wall that's below that flashing. If it goes to a wall that's below that flashing, it could be leaking inside your wall, rotting out your framing in your walls, and not even show anything on the walls. You never know what leaks going on. You got stuffy kids, you got a stuffy wife, you're stuffy every time you walk in the house because there's freaking mold in there. Just because a roofer didn't do his job correctly the first time when they built a house, right? You got to make sure even when you're replacing these roofs, you need to check those. If the flashing's not rigleted into the brick, guys, you could end up in the same situation, right? Flashings always need to be replaced every single time. With due respect, sometimes they don't. If they're not damaged, they're not deteriorated, they're not warped, falling off, they're not rusted, they're in great condition, they could be left if they're installed correctly the first time. If they're not installed correctly the first time, they have to be replaced every single time. It's a non-negotiable. Because the last thing that we want is for you to already be dealing with something that you may not know that you have been dealing with because one roofer made a mistake. And we do everything. We don't just do shingles. We do EPDM, we do TPO, we do corrugated, screw down, basically agricultural roofing to the point. You can do it on a residential house, but I'm going to speak on something that, man, might give me some flack from other roofers that benefit off of it so much. There's so much freaking profit in corrugated screw down metal roofs, and I hate doing them. I try to push all my customers to standing seam. Corrugated screw down roofs, those are exposed fastener systems. Those screws can be replaced one time in their lifetime. Typically the grommets, the little rubber washers that are underneath those screws, they get rotted, dry rotted, just like tires that, sit outside in the sunlight forever. They'll get dry rotted out, they'll crack, they'll create leaks. You got to replace the screws. You can only replace them once, and that typically happens every 10 to 15 years. So you're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars, and your typical corrugated screw down roof, depending on the pitch, how many facets, how broken up the roof is, how many cuts and everything like that, how complex it is, it can cost anywhere between $650 per 100 square foot up to really like $1,000 a square foot if it's pretty complex. But the thing is, $600 to $900 a square foot, guys, you can get a standing seam roof for basically $1,150 to about $1,500 a square foot or 100 square foot. So 1 square, we talk in squares. I'm having a hard time if you can't tell, because 100 square feet is 1 square. Roofers talking squares. So about 1150 to 1400 a square, 1500 a square on standing seam, which is no exposed fastener. It's crimped all together. It's one singular system, and there's no exposure to the elements, and there's very little maintenance. It's a roof that's going to last you forever versus a corrugated screw down. We're going to make a similar investment at about 25 to 30% less cost, but you're going to have to replace it in about 30 years after you replace the screws one time, because after that one time, you can't replace them again, and then you're out just, that much more money. So in the same period of time, somebody gets a standing seam roof, you're going to spend at least, let's see if we do the numbers here, you're going to spend at least 40% more in the same time frame that somebody else is going to spend 40% less, because you're going to have to put a new roof on. So, hey, there's good profits in corrugated screw downs. I don't believe in them. If you really want me to do it, I'll do it. I don't recommend them on a residential property. But besides that, talking about everything that we do, shingles, all the way from standard architectural up to laminated designer shingles. I don't know if there's a designer. There's a designer right behind us. It looks like slate or wood shake. But we do standing seam. We do corrugated screw down. We do EPDM, and there's actually an EPDM section right here where you can see it's very flat above the front porch. And then we did TPO. The customer opted for TPO on this back section here. He has a flat porch area. And let's get into this too. It's not just on the front of the house. New flashing on the back of the house too. But this big porch over here, this is all TPO re-roofed up there. We got that included on the claim. Now, that's one of the big things, guys. When we're doing a full roof assembly, There's no reason for one part of your roof to be older than the rest of your roof, even if it's supposed to last longer. This customer's roof here was, if I recall correctly, about 14 years old. A TPO roofing system on anywhere in Tennessee should last maybe 20 to 30 years. So you're talking about 65 to 50%, 50 to 65% of its lifetime, maybe 75% of its lifetime of what it's been up here on this roof already. The shingles needed to be replaced. You're not going to leave something that's 50% through its life up there with something that you're putting 100% back in its life, right? So this EPDM or TPO section that we replaced up here, this flat roofing system, and roofers, don't kill me here. It's not flat roofing. I get it. It's low slope, all right? Ties into this slope right here. Now, in Tennessee, I don't know the laws in other states, but in Tennessee, consequential physical damage incurred in making a repair or replacement must be replaced, must be covered by the insurer unless otherwise excluded by the policy. So it tied in. It underlaps underneath the shingles. There's a bunch of existing penetrations, and then it's a glue down system as well. So a bunch of holes in the existing TPO system. We could have replaced one portion of it, but because of the way it was laid, it required the entire pitch of that roof, the entire facet of that roof to be replaced because of the way it directs. All those rolls were rolled into this roof this way. They're not rolled this way. They're rolled with the slope of the roof to slope off to the gutter here. Now, because of the way it was installed, it had penetrations and issues on everything that tied into that shingle roofing system was there's penetration. So we were able to get that fully replaced as well and took care of that for the homeowner. So we don't leave one nail there. We don't leave one coin unturned. We make sure to the best of our ability that we're able to take care of the property through and through and give you everything you deserve every single time. And if you guys heard the phone call earlier, man, our customers are satisfied. I haven't spoken to this customer in probably 3, 4, or 5 months. We've been done with this project for 6 or 7. And when I called him up, he didn't have my number saved, but he remembered who I was when I answered the phone. I asked him if I could film on his property. He's not here. He said, make yourself at home. That's the difference we make. We're not contractors. We're not roofers. When we work with you, you become friends and family. So guys, at the end of the day, like I said, when you work with us, you work with friends and family when we're done. If you want to work with pros, if you want to work with somebody who's going to take care of you, actually have a relationship with you, not just to be that sales guy that's here and then gone the next day. They're going to maintain a relationship. They're going to take care of your property like it's their own. Then you need to call Provision Roofing, man. Click the link below, get a free estimate, get a free inspection. Make sure you got pros taking care of you, because you have options and then you have the option. And when I say the option, Provision is not this provision that was given to us, that was given to me to start this company, but it's behind all the reps that I was able to train and I was able to help train with all the other industry experts that we put this knowledge together to protect you. But it's the pros' vision. You want a pro to take care of your vision, call us.